Whoa, it's today. It's today already. It's the first Historical Linguistics Challenge. Welcome, everyone. AKA, let's stump Colin, but I'm not the only one who's going to be stumped because we have the chat. We will have some of the best minds on this corner of YouTube, or perhaps any corner of YouTube, helping out. We are going to crack our knuckles and we're going to get started real soon. But I think we need to take stock today. Either this last night or this morning, we passed 750 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you all so much for joining on this crazy adventure. And yes, thank you. I just got back from a haircut, and everything is, in that post haircut phase, which it will never quite look as good again. So let's just appreciate the moment. Okay, let's see what else we got. Sutton saying there's an echo. Is anyone else getting an echo? Lucy, how's our sound looking or sounding? I won't say any. Well, I'll say a bunch more things so that you can tell. No echo? Sutton, it might be something. Could be something on your end, perhaps. Okay, so I was just sent a link. Maybe I should just do a little premise. Well, I'll do the YouTube. I'll say hi to YouTube first. Future YouTube friends coming to join us, and then we'll do a little intro about the ground rules. So hi YouTube, welcome. We are, if you've clicked on this link, you must be interested in historical linguistics or challenges. And if you're interested in either, I have some very good news for you, because you're about to see just that. You're about to see actually the sort of nice little almond in the middle of the Venn diagram of historical linguistics and challenges today. So what we're going to do is we are going to take a look at a language family which I have never seen before. It is a family of Conlangs created by the magnificent Team A in our Discord. By the way, if you're not in our Discord, it's in the description. Come join us. We have lots of fun talking about vowels and among other things. And we're going to get some cognate sets, and we are going to reconstruct the language, the proto-language, on stream live together. So, without further ado, let's open up this document. Click. I have not seen this before. I swear on all on all the phonemes that linguists hold holy. Even the secret phonemes that we're not supposed to tell anyone else about. All right. So, let's take a look here. Ooh. Okay, let's zoom in. And let's move me maybe up here. All right, let's take a look here. So, thank you to Team A, especially Sutton, who at the very last moment did a bunch of work on this. It is so very much appreciated. We just have the best community. Now, sort of the ground rules, we're going to be trying to come up with the reconstruction here. If you're in the chat, feel free to shout things out. If I see them, I will try and incorporate them. Otherwise, you're going to watch me struggle, strive, and hopefully succeed. All right, so I think I need a second window here. I have come prepared with an untitled spreadsheet, which we will use to make our reconstruction. So that's not the one I want. There we go. Okay, so we'll get this. If only I could get the right window. There we go. If only. Okay, so we can start our reconstruction. Let's see. Match the zoom so we can get the protoforms here. So we're going to make some hypotheses, and we're going to see. Yeah, we have 30 cognate sets, and I think we're going to need to look at some rules as well. Is it, Quayne, is that a little bigger from 150 or is 150%? We're at 150 now. Oops. There it is. I can make it a little bit bigger, but we won't be able to see everything at the same time. I could do 175. Let's do 175 for future people watching this on phones. And maybe I will have to... Oh no. There we go. So I am not the interesting thing on this screen. The language is the interesting thing. We can never lose sight of that fact. The language is the important thing. So okay. So these rules are just here because I need somewhere to put them. They don't correspond to protoforms or anything like that. I could move myself to the bottom right. The only problem is the chat's in the bottom right. So we got to figure that out. But I think we should be okay here. If anyone has trouble seeing anything, just let me know. Okay, so then let's start on 15, form 15. Okay, so the way it's set up, we have 30 cognate sets going down top to bottom, and we have, oh my goodness, we have 8 branches going left to right. Let's see, above the chat maybe? Where does the chat go up to? That's the question. Maybe there? Chat box. Yeah, maybe there. Okay, cool. So we have 8 branches, so we're actually going to need a lot more space for rules. Okay. Let's see how we're going to do this. Branch A. So here are some rules. Hopefully we won't need too many for each one. Actually, wait. Here we'll put them out here. And there may be some overlap with the chat, but unfortunately we're very starved for screen real estate here because of the need to keep things legible for people on all devices. So where did we go? There we go. Oh, Colin bottommost. Nobody puts Colin in a corner. All right, let's see if we can arrange that. Sorry, future YouTube, we're working out the format here. And the chat box can go up here. Great. Okay. All right. So this should be branch C, branch D, E, F, G, H, and we'll just put the rules below each of these little things. Okay. So then let's get started. So we have form 15. We have, okay. I'm not sure how we're going to do this with this amount of real estate. I may have to shrink some columns maybe. Ah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. F, G. Can we fit them all? H. Great. Okay. This is good. So let's see. We have form 15, which is something like hua in branch A, hua in branch B, hua in branch C, gu in branch D, chu in branch E, ho in branch F, ho in branch G, and ho in branch H. Okay, so let's take a look at these. I think I'm going to need a new. Let's take a look at some correspondences. So we need branches A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Thank you, Quain. I've yeah, it's always a little bit of extra mental processing that has to open up when we do tones. Okay, so we need to make some correspondences. So here we have this affricate. That's a tough one. In branch A. So this is kind of the first step. Once you've assembled your cognate set, which has been done for us already, then we start to look at correspondences. So we have correspondences like, these are word initial. So we'll just get them all in here. And see what we can do. So this is essentially practical historical linguistics. So we have all of these initial sounds here in the various branches. Let's see if we can find any other examples of these. This set of correspondences. So let's look first initially. We see anything that looks kind of familiar. Oh, we see in 17 something similar. So we say this in form 15. And do we see the exact same thing in form 17? Well, we have k in A, ch in B, but we have something different in C, so we have to come up with a new correspondence. Oops. Okay. Thank you. And then we have K in D, same in E, same in F. So everything is the same except for... Interesting. So in 17 we have this. Now, of course, there is a different vowel. We have this delightful central vowel here in 17, and we have this low back vowel in word 15. That could be a potential way to resolve this problem. Let's see. 21 as well. Yeah. What do we have here? We have the same... It looks like the same correspondence set as 17 exactly. No, not quite exactly. We have another difference. In branch F, we have a velar fricative instead of a uvular fricative. So that is 21. Okay. 21. 21 is my name. Oh. Oh, yeah. It could be, couldn't it? Branch D. Colingase. Oh, I like this. Okay. So we have some potential help here that we may want to hypothesize a proto K here. That's an option. So, oops. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Great. Let's see. What else can we find? I don't want to jump too far ahead into the future, but I think that's a promising angle of attack for this. Okay. So, do we have any other initials like this? Does not look like it. Okay, so let's see if we can find what's going on with the other parts of this 15 that might be able to help us. So we have here wa, we have here wa, wa. So let's take these two together because they may end up, oops, they may end up being acting as a kind of unit. So we'll just leave that. Wah. Ooh. So we have this diphthong corresponding to a long monophthong in branch D. Actually, in all branches D, E, F, G, and H. Interesting. Interesting. So we have, and there's also the issue of tone, but let's try and do one thing at a time here. So let's see, 13. I'm getting a question about 13, or a suggestion about 13. So it looks like we have another one of these, these velars in, sorry, 13 or 12? Because we have actually an interesting situation in 13. Maybe we can do that briefly. We have these uvulars. We have then velars in D and E. And we have uvulars in F, G, and H. It's just a Q. And yeah, 13 is a different correspondence set. This one, I think Quain is right. We may have, these are our initial guesses. We might be dealing with just a voiceless uvular stop here. Let's see. Let's take a look at what happens to in D and E. We get the uvular. So if it is a proto-uvular, then we get fronting. And where do we get fronting? What's the environment in which we get fronting? We would be getting fronting after a and before u, which seems a bit weird. Oh, sorry, not before. Before a. Forget about u for a second. It seems a bit weird to front ka before a. So I think it seems to me more likely that although wait. Yeah, it could, sorry, let me restart that train of thought. If we have ka in the proto-language, then we would have to, we don't have to worry about the environment yet because we might just have a wholesale fronting of uvulars in D and E. Especially since we don't seem to have any uvulars in D or E. So maybe we could hazard a rule in D and E. I'll just put this off to the side here. So in D and E we have uvulars to velars. Let's see if this holds up with everything else we know. I can't see any counter examples yet, but still early. Okay. What else is going on? Yeah. Clammy, that's right. So I think there's just a wholesale fronting of uvulars. Let's see. Had another Raven saying that L in 24 seems stable. Yeah, so we have actually, this is a really good one. I think we have every reason to hypothesize that our initial L is going to remain And then we just don't have any of these words in F, G, and H, which is interesting. Whenever we're lacking a cognate, we're lacking them in all three of these branches, F, G, and H, indicative of something, perhaps. I'm curious as to what might be causing the differences between 15, 17, and 21. So we have, I'm just going to point these out with spots where they differ. So we have same, different, same, different. Yeah, so they're slightly different here. Oh, I'm glad you are enjoying it. And a lot of the thanks have to be towards the wonderful members of Team A, and especially Sutton, who I am told sacrificed sleep for this. So for 21 in okay, let's we got a lot of things to deal with here. So the Raven's pointing out that we might not want to make this, we might not want to be so certain about the voicing of the proto uvular here, because we do see voiced reflexes in C and D. Yeah. Let's explore this. Because we also have in 23 this correspondence of p and b. So everywhere we have p except in C. And this is in 23. Yeah, it is. It's very pretty. I like this. So we have this. And the question is it the same thing that's going on with the voicing in C at least? We don't have it in D. Let's see if there's another example. Oh, well, we have 11. Have we looked at 11? So Q, Q, capital G, G, K, Q, Q, Q. Okay, so that's all the same. So this is 11 and 13. Let's see what else we can do. For the unvoiced protophoneme Q, Logan points out that intervocalic voicing is pretty common. And that is absolutely true. But here we are positing this on the basis of 11 and 13, in which it's word initial. So I'm not quite sure. And the other voicing controversy we have is for 23, where we have this P and B correspondence. Let's see if there's anything else that looks the same. I am going to... Okay, I'm going to try and scroll down for... Let me just get... So that the our viewers can see 28 to 30. Okay, 25 is very interesting. Yeah. So we have N, 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 N. So I think we can safely reconstruct initial N. In 25. Let's take this non-initial stuff out for now. And just try and get wrap our heads around the initials. Initial N is stable. I think that's pretty clear. Initial L. Let's see if we have any other initial L situations. just 24. I'll write that down here. Yeah, so that's, I think it's worth reconstructing. Initial K for 4 is probably the weakest of our reconstructions. Let's see. We also have, thank you, Raven, in 29. We have this y, which shows up everywhere except for in branch E. And we get some sort of je. And initial fortition of glides is definitely a thing, as we see in the history of the Romance languages. And so I would be relatively confident positing initial y based on that basis, but we have to be sure, are there any other instances where we lose it? Okay, so 27 has a slightly different correspondence set. So 27 has y, no consonant, and then F, G, and H have a front rounded vowel. This may be the result of coalescing, but for the moment, let's say, how do we get our nice empty symbol? How do you use Windows? I have no idea. I know exactly how to do this on a Mac. He complains for the 5 trillionth time. Everyone's tired of hearing it, I'm sure. Okay, there we go. So we have nothing here, and we have nothing here. Although that's an asterisk to nothing because it could have gone into the vowel. Oh, thank you, Raven. Yeah, here we see, this is actually, if we look in 27, we have you, ye, yo, e, 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 e. I almost feel as if my instinct is to hypothesize a proto U, like yod and oo, and then we have some sort of a vowel shift going from U to ye, and then ye turns into E, something like that. Let's see. We also have evidence for in 30, we have this medial J, which seems to have a similar fate. And we lack the words here. So that is good. And in 18, I think someone pointed this out already, we have another issue with J. And it looks like we get the same kind of thing as we got before. So it's very similar to 27. In fact, put that here. All right. Moon Truther, this oh yeah. Sutton, thank you. I made a mistake here. So this should be not found. And 18, this is 27. So actually 18 and 27 are slightly different. 18 is not found and 27 is actively null. Good point. Okay. So given that, I'm still fairly confident in this reconstruction. Should 27 be... Okay, let me make sure. So we have J, yeah. That's right. You're keeping me honest, chat. Thank you so much. Okay. So it looks like we have some sort of condition development. Looks like before certain vowels in branch D of y. I don't think we're quite at the point where we can say yet. And I am going to put in a YouTube break here, so keep the episode size down. So I'll just say goodbye to YouTube briefly. YouTube, time flies, I know. But come back because this is going to continue. We've got a lot more work to do. So we will see you again soon. Okay. Keep it short and sweet because we got a lot of work today. And I'll do the YouTube intro again. YouTube, welcome back. We're hard at work. We don't have a lot of time to explain. Just get in the spreadsheet. If you haven't seen what we're doing before, check out the earlier episode in this playlist. But yeah, we got to get back to work. Okay, we are reconstructing a language here. Okay, so we need... So Sam points out initial consonants can resist devoicing in clusters like 12. Okay, let's look at this cluster. One thing we have to do, or at least I have to do, is resist the temptation of looking at branch A just because it's on the left as the standard of comparison. In principle, we don't know what is going to be what. So I'm looking at number 12 here. We have a tia, de, de. So let's put this glide in with the onset right now. We may have cause to change our minds about that later, but and then NF, NF, NF. Okay. So we have, just to, let's follow our intuition a little bit. I think we're dealing with a proto-K that is having divergent outcomes due to its environment in C and F here. So somewhat confident about that. Here, I think if we're going to go with K, then I think we should also go with Ba. Or sorry, Pa. Pa. The voiceless one is what I mean. And then we have to explain why the pattern of voicing in C and D here, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. C and D here are different. And we have the same pattern of voicing in C and D, but not in 23. Why? Why is this pongi? Is this dissimilation because there's a later voiced stop? Maybe. Let's see if we can find any other instances. Any other instances where the voicing pattern is different. Okay. A and H seem to have rhotic reduction, where in D and D they seem to have undergone a consonant shift. All right, let's look at what we're talking about here. Yes. We have some interesting things going on with this final R. Ra. Need more hydration before I do uvular trills. But yes, we have something, and then we have very almost German or non-rhotic English like diphthongs coming about as the result of perhaps the lack of R. So I think based on 9, we may want to consider something like this set of correspondences. So we have an off glide in A, we have the uvular rhotic in B, we have the coronal rhotic in C, we have vowel lengthening in D, we have the retroflex lateral in E, and then we have some stuff going on with tone as well, but we have an off glide in H, and we have potentially loss with some tone action. Oh yeah, 27 also, thank you, Quayne. 27 also gives us some evidence for this, 27, 28. So we have the same off glide. I'll just put these down here. We can unite them if they need to be united. We get the same uvular. We have this. Ooh, we do not have the same thing going on precisely. We have a velarized trill here. But we have this vowel lengthening here in 27D. We have the retroflex lateral here again and here again. We have the vowel lengthening with this N after it. Now that N may be something that just deleted in all other branches, I'm not sure. And then we have not found, not found, not found. And here we have let's go back up to 9. We actually have a ra found in G and nothing found in F. So slightly different. (27B). Oh, did I get it wrong? Yeah, I did. Okay, thank you. Thank you, chat. Yeah, okay, so then Ella points out that this cluster, or so this sequence, roux in E corresponds to oo in D in line 6. Okay, let's look up to line 6 for a second. So we have something quite interesting here. Let's give ourselves a bit more space. And let's look at what's going on in 6. So we have f, voiceless bilabial fricative in A. We have the voiced bilabial fricative in B. We have the voiceless labial velar approximant in C. We have nothing in D. We have a labialized voiced velar fricative in E, and then we have not found in the rest. Sawton, if you made typos, you know, that's par for the course. So that's something that we have to allow for, that there are some forms that are that may be erroneous, or maybe the result of borrowing, or maybe the result of dialect mixing or something like that. So if you get something that fits 100%, I mean, that's great, but it's unlikely to happen. So we have to allow for some play. Okay. So let's see. This 6, this is a really interesting cognate set. Is there anything like it? Anything else that looks vaguely like that? I'm looking through here and I don't see anything, at least in the initials. These are beautiful, I have to say. These are really beautiful. I'm just really in awe of the work that went into this. So I don't think we have any other evidence that can help us with this, with number 6. I wonder. Something I've noticed is branch A seems to have voiceless reflexes where branch B even has voiced ones. In, say, number 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. There must be some others. This is kind of, oh, it's 22. So I wonder if there's some sort of a devoicing going on in branch A. I'm going to say it's a potential. It's a hypothesis. Quain points out that 28 has our labialized velar fricative. Ah, yes, so it does. So then let's see what's going on with 28. So we have F. Actually, let's do the whole cluster. Fia, ya, wa, and ra. Interesting. Interesting. Not quite sure what to do with that yet. Yeah, the question is B voicing its initial fricatives, or is A devoicing them? Let's gather some evidence. And let's give ourselves some more. Let's just accept that we're going to be. Okay, so in branch A we have sh. In branch B we have zh. In branch C we have hya. In branch D we have nothing. And in branch E we have zh. What I almost feel like doing is setting up something like sia. Initial voicing. And if we have sia, so A putting sia to sh, that's really natural. Actually, A and B. Then B initial voicing initial fricatives at least. So that would give us sh and zh. And then C going from S to H would give us hya. And then E losing S, so S deleting word initially, would feed into the word initial fortition of ya to zh. And I think that will get us this entire cognate set. Now we just have to see if it works with anything else. Oh yeah, we also have I don't know. Let's find some potential counter evidence for this. Oh yeah, this is based on 4. For which we have a bunch of not founds. Okay. I see some good theories going on about that initial velar affricate. Ship combo points out some word initial S and E in 10 and 22. Okay, that does amount for a problem unless unless it's before it just is deleted in clusters. That would work. Maybe. 8 might help on this. Aplua. Abdur. Achtor. Pado. Interesting. It looks like we have some metathesis going on here. My goodness. Yeah, it looks like branch D has some metathesis. In 9. Let's go further on this Sia hypothesis. Let's find the other sh in branch A. Initial sh. So we have the 1 and 4. Are there any others? There are not. That is a shame. Okay, so no word initial T in B. Interesting. Interesting. No word initial T in B. So we have this interesting correspondence, which I think that chat has got to. Yeah, Moontoother is saying we're jumping around all over the map here, but I think this is how we're going to solve this. So we have T, 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 and then aspirated T, and then some not founds in 26. And we have something like this going on in 16 as well. We have tla, tha, then we have tswa or tsa here, ta, and then we need some not founds. Yeah, this could be an initial ta. Potentially. Although, where did that aspiration come from? It doesn't really contrast with anything. So maybe it just becomes aspirated. Yeah, that's possible. And we have a little wrinkle here. So far, what does our inventory look like? Pataka ka na ya sa na ya. Initial S in line 20 seems stable. Line 10. All right, so then we have S, Z, S, S, S. Yep, that seems like a pretty solid S. Excellent. And we have here this same correspondence set 2 and 26. We have 7. We have W, 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 PW, W, but I'm pretty sure this is our metathesis again, because we have this P later on, please. So that's that P here. And we know, we have this hypothesis that D is a metathesizing language. So I think we need... Hi, Natasha. Welcome. He waved in a not at all goofy fashion. Let's say this is a W. I think that's fairly unproblematic. Okay. Quayne points out the E seems to have a chain shift where we go from T to aspirated T and D to T. What's the D to T from? Where did we get that evidence? Maybe from this tool. And from this, yeah, maybe we have debuccalization in A and B, devoicing in C and E. So I think that's what's going on. So we have D going to glottal stop. Here, going to optional T here. I don't know if this is like a French liaison type scenario, but be something like that. There we go. 12. Yeah, 12. That's a good point. I think this is solid. I think we've got... But Quayne, if this is proto-D, that means that our analysis of voicing is wrong. And these are actually, it's all the other languages that devoice. And that, yeah, and that B, G, or uvular G is actually initial. I think that might be it. So if we go A, B, and E, D voice stops, then we could hypothesize that this is actually either a velar or uvular G, or G. And then let's see, where does it back? I wouldn't expect it to back next to so many front vowels, though. So maybe it is a uvular. Maybe it is actually this. Okay. And in that case, maybe this P is actually a B. Just because the majority of the branches have a reflex doesn't mean that that is the proto-reflex, because we don't know what the branching scenario was like. Perhaps there was a branch like this really early, then this language devoiced everything and then had, many, many different branches, very prolific. And this other branch only comes down with one. We wouldn't be justified in using the fruitfulness of the other branch in terms of the number of sub branches or languages it gave off to make that decision. Okay, I'm missing some things from the chat. The deglottalization, thank you Fresh Fruit Tea, is in 17. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Deglottalization, where did we put that? 25. So it's in 17, and actually we see it drop out altogether and maybe leave long vowels. Not sure. And where's the other place we had it? In 6, right? A, B, C, D, E, and F, G, H. Yeah, it does seem like F, G, H are a clade. I know the feeling, Raven. Let's take a break. Let's put a cut in for YouTube, and let me take a 5-minute break for my brain and for my voice, and then we'll come back and we'll do a bit more. I don't think we're going to get finished today. I don't know. Okay, so YouTube. Bye, YouTube. See you next time. Come back. We're going to do more of this. You know what's going to happen. And yeah, big thumbs up. Big thumbs up to everyone involved in this. This is great stuff. Okay, see you next time. And for you, chat, I will be back in 5 minutes. Just going to do some vocal warm-ups. I'll mute. And just clear my head. This is enormously fun. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I see a really good idea in here that we might want to reconstruct a one of the sort of intermediate stages. The problem is we'd have to be fairly confident about the branching and what is going to end up forming a clade. So forming a group that branched off together and then had common descendants. So the only one that I think I would bet any money on is FGH, because they all have the same gaps and they all have a lot of things in common. So in that case, I think we could attempt it. But these are also the ones that I've spent the least time establishing correspondences for, because there are just not enough. There's not enough stuff out there. But we can give it a try. Shall we try it? Let's try it. Okay, so let's just look at FGH for a few minutes and let's see what we've got. So we can call this I don't know. Let's put it here. Oops. I gotta get you guys over here. Oh, I gotta do the YouTube thing. Start. Okay. 1 second. Wow, YouTube. Come on. Welcome back. I don't even think we can spend any time because we are under the gun reconstructing this language. So let's just go back into the thing so you can see the YouTube intros get shorter and shorter as the day goes on. But okay. Anyway, back over. So we need a new proto-FGH reconstruction here. And let's see if I can give us a bit more space. There we go. Alrighty. So FGH. So we can ignore A, B, C, D, E. Hide. And we can just work on our proto-FGH. So it seems clear that for these we need some sort of a fricative, uvular, velar, not sure. Here, voiceless uvular stop, P, N, yeah. Here I think we do need an R. Because we have, well, first of all, we have an R showing up in 27. And then we have this ghost of an R off glide in branch H, and nothing in branch F. And we also need this W. Otherwise, I think, and this is some kind of an O. What is this from? 19, from 15, and probably long. So we can make some protoforms. So I don't know, would it be all right if I just inserted a branch for our hypothesis? And we can start to make some reconstructions here. So I think, I'm not sure what to do about the tone, to be honest. Reconstructing tone is not my, the thing that I do every day. If Quane's still in the chat. All of your expertise will be very appreciated. But we have something like we with some kind of tone on it. We have something, well, we haven't actually done any vowel stuff really yet, so let's just say we have W, we have Q here, some kind of X, P, N, and yeah. Okay. Are there any borrowings between the branches? There very well may be, and we have no way of knowing. So we just have to proceed with the understanding that that might be the case. Let's do a few vowels. Because we haven't touched them really yet. All we have is this reconstruction here. This long O of some kind, open or closed, I'm not sure. So, George, this is neither Sakrat or Kal. This is the Let's Stump Colin and the chat Historical Linguistics Challenge, where we are live reconstructing a proto-language from a language made up by the community, led by Sawton, who is in the chat here, and probably just getting all wanting to jump in, but can't. Okay, so let's do some vowels. So here we have this O in one, or sorry, that's not one, is it? Oh, it is. Let's get that over here. O is in the word one. That looks like a good reconstruction. We should reconstruct the tone separately from the vowels, but for now, let's just leave them here. And then we have, let's just ignore the tones for now. Just to make life typing easier. So for 5, we have E, E, E. For 7, we have, oh, I missed a few for 1, didn't I? Sorry. Actually, I missed a few for, for a bunch. So we have ah, ah, ah. For 1, we have schwa in 1. We have e, in 3. We have O in 5. Note all the are after a Q. That's a good point. Yeah, we haven't been doing a lot of conditioned stuff yet formally like this, mainly because I don't think we have enough screen real estate to do it. But basically, we need to be mindful of the fact that this is after, sorry, not word initially. This is after Q and before this pre-nasalized B. This is before the Q, and this is after the pre-nasalized B, and finally. Okay, and unfortunately, that consonantism is identical across. So we could probably be so bold as to, well, let's not be bold yet. Let's keep going. And so we have in 7 A. So this is already, we know about this in 3, and we know about this in 5, but the environment is different here. So we need here it's after some kind of labial stop. Here it is word initial before T, and also between W and something. Oh, FGH stands for proto-FGH. The ancestor of these three languages alone. All right. What else? We got to 7, right? So we have this high central vowel showing up, and that is good. That's showing up after RLP, and this is showing up after. Are we done with this? Okay. All right. So then we have a. In front of some sort of a coronal stop. Word initially. Ooh. And we've already reconstructed this to be before an R. Oh, interesting. Look at this. We have, looks like perhaps the R has metathesized in branch G. So I think we can start to be a little confident about O, Q. We only see this after uvulars, but we see it in all three branches, so there's no reason not to put that back into the proto-language. We don't have any stress in G, so I don't know if we want to put it back into the proto-language, but we definitely have and then we have something probably ish. So we're going to give this a cover vowel. And there are, yeah, clammy. I think that's a decent reconstruction here. What else do we have? This looks like it should be A. So we, and then something's going on, followed by, oops, I need this vowel, please. Yeah, this would be an interesting first stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Very happy to have you. Is it Lula sings, or is that a different pronunciation of the double L? We have WE something something, and then the high central vowel. I think what we have for 9, Quain is right. I think we have something like atur. And so we have this branch G. So we have this R business where we have metathesis here. We have R here, or R here, and then we have this off glide formed here. That's good. And we get that from 9. I think that's solid. Then we have this correspondence e. And And we have high central vowel at the end. So this is an 11. So then I think we need to reconstruct. Sorry, let's just say, let's put a T here. And let's give it this. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, Lula, welcome. Excellent. It's always nice when people give their IPA. Sometimes I mess up. IPA is so nice. Right. Okay, so here's something interesting. We have this cluster here. We don't see this cluster anywhere else. Interestingly, we have this S show up in number 5 as well, and it vanishes. I think that it would be more likely for a coda S to vanish than for one to emerge. So I am going to reconstruct S. This is after a vowel and before a consonant. And it is gone. And then similarly, we have this sh, which I think probably works the same way. And so we have our evidence for our evidence for this is found in 5. Our evidence for this is found in 11. And oh, Lula. That's a cool project. I've never translated something that long into a Conlang before. You have to hear how that goes. Okay, so Clemmy, sorry, I missed your comment earlier when I was going about all of this. It looks like ispo is the proto-form. Yeah. Unless the S is what is giving it the aspiration. Like it goes from S to H, then causes the adjacent stop to aspirate, then drops out in branch F, but not in branch H. I think that is kind of possible. Okay. I don't see any way that we're going to finish this today. I think, I don't know. Chat, what should we do? Should we do the reveal at the end of this stream and see, and get some payoff? Or should we keep going and then draw the pain/pleasure out for longer? I think, to be fair to Sutton and the rest of Team A, we should do a reveal today because, I don't want them to have to keep coming back and not seeing what's going on, but I'm happy to be dissuaded by the chat. So if you want me to keep going on another day, then we will do it. But okay, I'm seeing some keep goings. So but let's let Sutton have the and the rest of Team A, if they are present, have the decisive vote, because it's their hard work that went into this, and I want to make sure that it's rewarded. Okay, yep, okay, we're getting the keep going sign, so we're gonna keep going. This is just a thing of beauty. So I think what's happened is in F and H we have S aspirating adjacent stops. So you can't see that, but it's going to say adjacent stops. And then in F and G, so it's basically SC to SC, and then our little aspiration diacritic here, and then SC, S drops out before, where did it go? Let's put 0 before consonant. Aspiration doesn't seem to have been triggered by S before Q in 27 though. Well, it does in F, but not in H. So maybe not then. And similarly in 19, it does it in F, but not in H. Okay, forget about H, but I think it does happen in F. So we can do a little bit more now, I think. We can... But where did the aspiration come from here? Something to ponder. So then here, I think we have something like S gore. Yeah, I think we have a phonemic aspiration contrast in the proto-language. So in cases where we see it in both F and H, we should push it back to the proto-language. But if we only see it in F and then we see an S in H, then we should probably not. So I think what we've got here is kishti, kishti. And then the tones we'll have to work on. Okay. And I think we can also do this one. Let me just fill this out. So here are our proto vowels. What to do with these front rounded vowels that we see in 3 and 5? Ete, ete, ete. Let's see if we can find any more. So we have here in 17, and I'm going to use zeros because I realize that our null symbol is actually the front rounded vowel symbol. Oops, I like to use the capital for that normally, but and A. So this is based on 17. Oops, sorry. So we have these correspondence sets like (5) and 17, where we have unrounded vowels in H and rounded vowels in F and G. And then if we go over just briefly to the other languages, let's look at 5. We do have evidence for a rounded vowel in A, B, and C. And we are looking also at 17. We have this ew, ew. That makes me lean in favor of having a front rounded vowel in proto-FGH, which unrounds in H. So something like this. And since the length is there in all of the descendants, we can keep it. And this pair in 3 is a bit different. It's the final vowel here, because it unrounds in G as well, which we didn't see for the others. And interestingly, in ABC we have ow, ow, or in A and B we have ow, ow. This makes me more likely to hypothesize the front rounded vowel in the proto-language, because we have this ow, which we know from Old French can turn into e. So that works, I think. So then, oh, I think I see Sutton's cursor there. Whose is that? All right, so let's, and I think we didn't have any objection to this T staying. So I think what we have here is basically more or less like branch F. I will take off stress and tone though, because we don't have direct evidence for it yet. So we have something like ete. And similarly here we have something like ispo. No, ispo, I think. Because we need, what did we say? If it's got aspiration in H, then it probably had it in the proto-language. I think that's it. Okay. So let's be good historical linguists and mark our reconstructions as such. And here I think we have this. Not sure if we have a uvular or a velar fricative in the proto-language, and not sure about the height of this O in the proto-language. Although given that we know it's long. So we've got a rather algebraic reconstruction for word 15. And then we have our vowels, I think, for 13 taken care of. And then maybe th or s. Let's put an S there. Not sure what's going to be our reconstruction there. Let's make a row for it though. So we have th, s. And we have reconstructed this as S, big S. Hydrate, stretch. Okay. Okay, I see that we're at the sort of the 3/4 mark, so I'm going to put another YouTube cut here. And I will briefly go full screen. YouTube. Oh boy. This is called Let's Stump Colin. And Colin is fairly stumped, but we have not run out of things to try, and we're still making good progress. It just may take a little bit longer than I thought. So if you've enjoyed this, please do come back, because we are going to make this into something of a series, I think. And we'll develop it as we go, and you can watch it. Of course, if you do subscribe, that'll probably make it likelier that you'll see it. But anyway, I'm going to keep this short because we got to get back to work. We've got half an hour left, and then we don't want to waste it. So we'll see you next time, YouTube. All right. Okay. This is like a form of athletics, I think. All right. We got half an hour left. Let's see how much more we can do. I think we can get a respectable reconstruction of proto-FGH. I don't know about the tone. So we'll have to think about that. Maybe we can handle that. It makes you trunked. I have the best chat. Okay. All right, I'll do the YouTube intro. We'll say hello again to our YouTube friends who are going to be joining us in the future to come. YouTube. We have our work cut out for us, I have to tell you. We are reconstructing, well, if you haven't seen the earlier videos in this series, please go see them first because I think it'll make a lot more sense. Basically what we're doing is we're reconstructing a proto-language for a family of Conlangs. And oh boy. Well, you'll see. Let's go back in, shall we? All right. So we've got a lot of proto-FGH reconstructed. I think our next step is just to finish the segmental reconstructions, clear up some indeterminacies about the consonants, and then work on the tone. Yeah. Yeah, can you imagine doing this with Proto-Indo-European? Must have been fun. All right. So then what next? What do we have next? We have this LR thing. So, oh, that's not reconstruct anything yet. We have RLL in this one. And then we have this is another instance of our, oh no, this is a new cognate set for vowels, isn't it? So we have O, 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 and this is in 21. And then we have pre-nasalized velar stop, pre-nasalized uvular stop, and just a velar stop. And finally, we have null. Maybe I can just write, yeah, I'll just write it. That's better. RR. Okay. Okay. Yes, I think the protoform for 21 for the whole family must be my name, which I am very touched and flattered at. I think we have this RLL correspondence, which I'm going to say L because we need R in similar circumstances here. And so we then have the question of prenasalization. I think we need it for the proto-language. The question is it going to be uvular or velar? That I don't know. But something like this. And then the question is, what are we going to do? Oops. What are we going to do with this? We have a bunch of these different mid-back vowel correspondences. This is clearly O. But then we have this long O, which shows up open in some, open in FG, closed in H. And then we have this short O, which shows up as open in FH and closed, no, open in G and closed in FH. And we then also have in 27, we have an open O in all languages. Although that might be the influence of R. R makes vowels do funny things usually. So this is after Q and before R. And this one in 21 is word final after G. Maybe a prenasalized, maybe a... Oh no, sorry, it's after R. Interesting. So I think what we have here is something like, and I think Quain pointed this out, something like long, and then what to do with this one? Well, this one here can be open O. And as for this, I'm not sure. Maybe we could call it capital O for now. Something like this. So that's a bit algebraic. But you know, we'll have to just deal with it for now. Quain, do you think it's some effect of the R on the quality of that vowel? I think that's plausible. So here we have something like, I think this is going to be iskor. I don't put a, I don't make this aspirated because we don't see aspiration in H. Only when we see aspiration in H do we need to posit it. Otherwise we get it purely from the aspiration of the adjacent S. We may have some, yeah, we may have in, where? In 21, we may have some vowel lowering or raising actually, because it's word final. But if that's true, then we'd expect this to be, but this is also, was originally an R. So we could say that the outcome of OR in F, sorry, of all R, or, is O, but O is O, maybe. Or maybe the opening is due to, so maybe we get O opens up before R. But if so, it did it in all the languages and probably did so in the proto-language. So I don't think we should deviate from that. Finally, 29 is pretty easy, Yunu. And 25 is pretty easy now that we've got all of our ducks in a row. Nespe. And then finally, ooh, this is new. Nya. Nga. Ngo. And nga. Based on 23. Okay. All right, we will get to tone very shortly. I just want to finish our segmental reconstructions. When I look at this looks very similar to the alternation in 47, or in 21 rather. But here we go into a palatal nasal. And I wonder if that indicates that we had a velar. If we had a velar, so basically this is our original, and then it goes to a palatal nasal in F, but only when it's intervocalic. Yeah, I think that makes sense. All right. I'm happy with that. And so then we get pong. And then we have an E or an I. It's true that E could have triggered the palatalization, but it doesn't do so anywhere else. Oh, or does it? Do we even have any instances of it anywhere else? We have I, and it seems perfectly happy with uvulars in front of it. Yeah, it's possible that that's also the case. Quain, that's right. That makes a lot of sense. So E is being lowered to I by the uvular. Let's just do a quick check to make sure that that's also the case elsewhere. We have uvular here, uvular effect after qa. Yep, I think that's likely. So E to I after Q, or after... I'm not going to do the actual features. That is unnecessary. So something like this. And then we have backing to a velar in G only. Okay. And then the question is, so if we're having this backing in language G, then I think our X cover phoneme, I don't remember, do we have a correspondence for that? Which is uvular fricative, velar fricative, which we see in 17 and 16. Well, actually, we have two of these correspondences. We also have the one in Hlongro, which is so this is word initial before L, and otherwise it's vowel, word initial before vowel. So maybe yeah, I'm torn, because if we're backing in G, we should also back this velar in G, but then why does it also back in F? That's something I can't totally explain yet. I am Hlongro. Because it's a cluster. Yeah, clusters do weird things, but it's weird that if we have an original uvular, so if we have an original velar, and it goes to a uvular only in clusters with R, or with R, or L, I don't, or sorry, no, I got that backwards. We have an original velar, and it uvularizes except when in clusters. Well, that does actually sound a bit more reasonable, but we don't have any other uvularization in this language. Although, oh, we do. We have Okamba. Okay, I'm happy with... Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So we get... I don't know. I'm not totally happy with that, honestly. So you think the uvulars were original and then we... Okay, so if that's the case... But if that's the case, it's a long way from G to a Nya. Unless we just appeal to the magic power of high front vowels. And so then we would reconstruct this and then have in F and H we'd have Nga. To Nga, Kha to Khe. And then in H, we would have Nga going to G. So that changes. Fed. Yeah, I agree. Starting out as a uvular does, I think, work. And then F. Okay, so have we accounted for this? We have G. And we go in this order. And then F goes from the uvular to the velar in clusters. So I don't know, we haven't before L so far. I know, poor Sawton. This must be painful for you. I think this is viable. I think this is very viable. So we need to keep ourselves in some semblance of order here. And then we just need to say that this is backing after a uvular, right? Yeah. Okay. And then did we make a decision, make up our minds about the vowel? All right, so we're going to make this into a uvular. Going to make this into a uvular. Oh my goodness. All right. So we have two more things left to do. One of the segmental phonology. Oh no. Okay, we have like 4 things left to do. We have to deal with these open O's. Are we going to reconstruct? It seems to me that branch H just categorically does not like low mid vowels. No, but it does here. That's a tough one. Okay, maybe we'll try and solve this. So we have wethre. We have the th. So let's consider this. We have th. We have, oh, this is weird. We have to consider the whole cluster. Thra, pla, and spa. Now we okay. I've got some chat here. Why is 23 nasalized but not 21? Oh yeah, Quain answered that. Okay, good. 21 versus 23 might just... I don't think that we are doomed by by 21 versus 23 for the uvular hypothesis. Could be wrong. I'm going to try and figure out the consonantism of 7, though. What could this be? West Spee. We like the Spee here. Or rather, when I say we like the Spee here, that's a meaningless statement. What I mean is that branch H is okay with these S consonant clusters. We don't see aspiration, but we wouldn't expect to see it on a trill. And instead of losing the S, if this were indeed a proto-S, we have this th, which leads me to believe that it's probably not the th. Yeah, let's take a look outside of the... so we get things like pl, bth, pth, metathesis nightmare, and pta. So this, I kind of like... So we have good evidence that there's a p in there, and then some kind of coronal. And in all non-metathesizing language, the labial comes first. So I think we are going to have something like p, and maybe something like pthra. Oh, thanks. Glad you could join us, Thomas. This doesn't feel right. Yeah, let's call it pata. Let's take Quain's, follow Quain's lead here. And I think that's solid. Although, how we go from pta to thra, this is what bothers me here. I think this is going to end up being something like... Because if we look at the other languages, we have the L, L, H. Okay, that's weird. But we have all these L's there. Lateral fricative. Maybe it's something like ptla. But then why do we get spa? The whole thing doesn't make sense. How do we get thra? Ugh, I think I'm going to have to stop. I don't think I can do anymore. My brain is now turned into some sort of a... I don't know. Some sort of a Jello salad. Pla, pla. Psa. Yeah, hla could become sa. or th. Oh, maybe this is, what's the language that has, it's one of the Semitic languages, right? Could be the ancient one of the ancient ones where we have hla and sa dancing around. I don't know. Yeah, okay, as I said, Jello salad. I think we're going to have to pick it up next time. But you're right, we do have this other S cover consonant, which I think might hold the key. If we have the lateral fricative, that would probably work. That's something that can become either hla or either th or sa, as Moontruther points out. Yeah, classical Arabic, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I get these snippets of things that stick into my head, but just the snippet. All right, as an initial guess, let's reconstruct these. Hla and pla. This might be over bold, but I think we've earned it. And we can always come back and do some more, which is exactly what we'll do. All right, friends. This has been remarkably enjoyable. I'm sorry we did not finish, but with this kind of setup, oh my goodness, I don't see how we could finish. Thank you again so very much, not only to the chat, but to Sutton, the rest of Team A, for all their hard work. This has been just, I don't know, I can't imagine a more fun thing to do. Yeah, my brain, I think, is just about to start running out of my ears, so I'm going to stop. But any announcements? Do we have any announcements, Lucy, to do? One announcement from me is I'm not going to be able to stream on Thursday, sadly. I've realized that my voice has a certain number of hours in it, and I've got to host a salon on translating Beowulf that night. So I guess I should say goodbye to YouTube. That stuff isn't relevant for YouTube, but maybe Lucy can cut it out. YouTube, thank you again for joining us. We're going to have to pick this up another day because there's so much to be done. But if you have any suggestions, and we haven't yet gotten to that point in time when this gets released, then leave your suggestions in the comments. Or if you just want to rage at me for not seeing something, that's totally your prerogative as well. But yeah, see you next time. And I'll do the good freeze frame. Okay. Right. So yeah, I can't use my voice for 2 hours streaming or even 1 hour streaming and then do the salon afterwards. So then, yeah. So none on Thursday. And then I will see you next week. Although I am going to be in a different location because I am going to Peru as of this weekend. So you'll see a different background. I don't know what it's going to be like, but it'll be cool. And I will see you all there. I will see you on Discord, on Twitter, in the comments section, all those good places. Thank you again so much, and I will see you soon.